the Zlide tank from Innokin. Let's have a look. Hey guys, Vick here, back with another review. Today we are looking at this. This is the Zlide tank from Innokin, a brand new 22mm clearomizer from Innokin, designed by Innokin, Bursardo and Dimitri the Vaping Greek, and it's another product in their platform line of products. What is it? What is it indeed? It is a tank. It's a follow-up to the Zenith tank. Very, very popular tank with Innokin, the Zenith tank with Z coils. It still takes the same size coils. The same coil heads from the Zenith do fit in here and vice versa. It now, however, comes with the Plex 3D mesh coils as standard, which are very, very good coils indeed. So it's the Z coils in here, just like the Zenith. The differences over the Zenith is you have this child-proof sliding top fill, which I'll show you nicely down low. It also has a much better look to it, in my opinion. It's a much nicer looking tank. You can also strip it apart easier and better for cleaning purposes as well, and it's just got an overall easier use vibe to me as well with this top fill. And again, it's got these new Plex 3D coil heads. Let's dive down low, have a really good look at this, then we'll come back up top with all the specs, all the stats, and all my thoughts. Let's go down low now. Okay guys, here we are down low with the Zlide tank from Innokin, Bursardo and the Vaping Greek Dimitri. Involved in this one again, it's from Platform Series. This is the Zlide, the packaging looks like. In terms of spares, you get some nice options here. You get a spare coil. There's a Canthal one. This one is rated 10 to 14 watts. So there is that. You also get a set of spares. You get a drip tip, which doesn't have the child safety on. You get spare glass tank and all your little other bits and bats of spares. That is what you get in the box. You get this as well. This is the tank. This is the Zlide tank in all its glory. Let's put it there so you can have a proper look. I'll give you a nice look round. There we go. So this is the Zlide tank, and the first thing you'll notice is these arrows. Now by default, with this drip tip that comes with it, you can't just push that to open it. It has a child safety feature. Basically the way that works is your traditional 510 tip, as you can see, has this extra little notch on it. So if you use any other 510, it will just open and close to fill. But with this drip tip, it has that extra notch which stops it from sliding. Oh, if you put it in properly, it stops you from sliding open. So you can't open it with this drip tip unless you take the drip tip out. So if you don't like that, swap it in for a different drip tip. It does come with a spare black drip tip which doesn't have it on. So it's just an option. It's just an option and a nice child safety feature. I quite like this drip tip, to be honest, and I quite like the feature. So there we go. So as we said, top fill, push that open, fill it down there, push it back, no mess, no nonsense. No problem there with that. And that is the Zlide, and that is the main upgrade of from the previous Zenith tank. So Zlide, it's got that Z in, and that is because it has a Z coil inside. So all your previous Zenith coils do work absolutely fine in this tank, which is great. It means you've got access to the full range of coils. It's a much nicer looking tank in my opinion as well. You've got this sort of metallic-y finish on it. You've got these really nice shaped windows. I think it's a really good looking clearomizer. I really do think that. Moving down, we've got Zlide on this side, Innokin on that side, and we have our adjustable airflow. Now this goes from 4 holes like that all the way down to 1 hole like that. And obviously that affects the amount of air you can get through it. It's very much a direct to lung hit in my opinion. With all 4 open, I can do a completely wide draw, and then it gets more and more restricted as you go down, and we'll go through how that vapes and how that draws up top. You got your 510 pin in true Innokin style. It's not particularly protruding. I would not recommend this on an unregulated device. Certainly not a mechanical device or anything like that. This is the way Innokin do their 510s. They want you to use a regulated device, certainly one with at very least built-in safety features, and that's just the way it is. So don't put this on your mech. Unscrewing it from the base, we see it goes into being a very traditional Innokin tank at this point. You have your pull out here, and you can pull out your coil. That's the base there. You can pull out your coil, easy as that, and there we go, and there we're in. I'll show you some pictures up close with the macro lens of this coil head. It is 0.5 ohm, and it is the 3D mesh, the fancy newest version of this mesh, which is very good indeed. It's Canthal mesh, 13 to 16 watts I believe it is rated at, and you literally just line up your notches on here and push it in, and you're good to go. Now, in terms of taking the coil out while you've got juice in, as long as the tank is no more than half full, you can do it. If the tank is completely full and you try and take the coil out like I just did, you will get juice everywhere. So you don't do it unless it's half full. It needs to be no higher than that line there, where the coil meets the shaft, as they say. So that is that's what's cracking off there. That is pretty much the Zlide down low. Let's fly back up top for pros and cons. I'll show you how it vapes and all that good stuff. Let's go. Okay guys, that was the Zlide tank down low. Really quick look at this. Nothing crazy going on from the previous Innokin tanks. So, you know, a very quick down low. Phil Bursardo himself has a really expansive show and tell of this. So if you feel like I've missed anything crazy, do check that out. Or you're still unsure about bits, do check that out. Yeah, check out Phil Bursardo's channel for the show and tells of this. He has done one of those. So, the tank. Really nice top fill, really nice addition of the child safety feature, and it's really clever that you can dodge the child safety feature if you want it, if you don't want it on your tank. I really like that it does that. It's a little extra stopping thing, and I think that's really cool. Stops it going off in your pockets, and like it says, it is child friendly. So that is very handy indeed, and I think it's such a nice touch that you can put a different drip tip on and negate that if you don't like it. So a really nice touch there, very clever indeed. The top fill works absolutely fine. Really slick on and off sliding function on here. I think it's a nice improvement to the way the original Zenith filled up. So I really like the top fill on here, no complaints there. I really like the look of it as well. I think it's a super good looking tank. I really do think it is a good looking tank. 2 mil capacity, 22 mil wide, if you didn't catch that from before. Again, I want to stress it's got the Z coils in here. It's now the Z 3D Plex coils in here, this super fancy cool mesh coils, and it is a nice flavoursome cloudy vape that does last a nice amount of time. So that's really good, and these coils are cross compatible with the Beep. They're cross compatible with the old Zenith. Anything that fits Z coils goes in here and vice versa. So the full line of Z coils are available to you if you have a favorite or you already have a load of them at home or in your vape shop. So that is all good as well. Now, I do have one quite major negative, and it's a very tricky thing to talk about. I've talked about this a lot, but everyone's style of draw is different and everyone's opinion on mouth to lung is different. However, I've got to say, unlike the Beep, which does have for me a very nice mouth to lung vape, unlike the Beep, this one, even when closed down to one hole, I'm still able to direct lung this tank. So I'll show you now. I'm 16 watts with the 0.5 fancy mesh coil. I can kind of just lung it. I can lung it with the smallest. I mean, with the 4 open, I can really go for it. That is a full lung hit at this point. Now, what I want to say about that is, if you are a really old school, staunch, very tight mouth to lung vapor, just like the Zenith and previous Innokin products, this may not be the mouth to lung tank for you. This might not be the dream mouth to lung tank for you. It's not super restricted, it's not super tight, it's not super old school mouth to lung. I want to put that out there, and that's just my take, the way I draw. To other people this will be 100% mouth to lung, but for me, I can direct along this even on the smallest setting. So it's there. I'm putting it out there. You're gonna have to make up your own mind. You will know your draw style. All I'm saying is, for me, it's quite a loose mouth to lung. I can absolutely mouth to lung it, but it's not your classic super tight mouth to lung, and I just want to put that out there. That being said, if you are familiar with the Zenith, if you like the Zenith, or the Nautilus V2 is a very similar draw as well. If you like any of these very popular tanks, you're used to the way the draw is on the Zenith, or any of the similar Innokin products, then you will know that you love this draw style. The Zenith is a very popular tank, and anyone that liked that vape style in the Zenith and in other Innokin products, then you will still love this. You know, I'm not having a big bash at the way this airflow works. I'm just letting you know that for me, it's not a super tight traditional mouth to lung. It's still mouth to lung, you can still very much mouth to lung it, but for me, it's not a super tight one. I do want to put that out there. That is what I've observed. Everything else about this tank, no issues at all. I like the way the coils work. I like the availability of the Z coil range. I love the look of it. I love the top fill. Everything about this, a very solid tank. It just comes down to your vape style. Obviously, this is a low wattage device, so if you're at over 20, 25, 30 watt vapor, if you're above that, then this tank is probably not for you at all. But if you are sub 20 watt vapor, definitely one to look out for, depending on your draw style and how airy you like your vape. This is an airier vape for me than the Beep that we just did a video on previous. The Beep has a different airflow path, and the extra restriction in that path is what, in my opinion, creating that slightly tighter vape. The whole configuration is not the same as well on there, so the airflow is just different on the Beep. I can get a genuine mouth to lung on the Beep, but not on here. I think I've slightly overstressed that point, but yeah, I do want to put that out there. Everything else about this tank is rock solid though, really is. And what I would say is, if you're on the fence after me saying that, is I've really got used to the draw on here. One hole, 16 watts, 0.5 ohm coil head. I've really got used to it. I've really got used to this vape now, and I'm very much enjoying it, even though I would have, when I first started vaping it, I would have preferred it to be a bit tighter. I've very quickly got used to the way this vapes, and I think it's very nice. The other thing I just want to point out as well, on paper it's a 22mm tank, but it does fan out at the airflow ring and slightly at the top a little bit perhaps as well. So it is 22mm, completely 22mm, but it depends on what you're putting it on. If you need it to be a completely flush 22mm, then it's not that, because it's got this slightly fanned out airflow. Again, this is super nitpicky, super fiddly, but I just want you to know before you go sticking it on your favourite 22mm thing. So there we go. That's another thing. Again, as always from Innokin, a range of colours available. I think I've seen 4 colours, black, blue and stainless. I think there might be a gunmetal one as well, I can't remember. You know it's going to be super affordable, super available, and it is out right now, I believe. I believe you can actually get it right now out and about. So if you've got a Zenith and you're happy with your Zenith, then you'll be absolutely fine. You know, I wouldn't necessarily say you need this. I would say definitely check out the 3D Plex coils and put them in your Zenith though. Definitely give those a whirl. Very solid coil heads. If you missed the Zenith, or you just love the Zenith so much and you want another, definitely check this out. If you're a low wattage, not too tight airflow vapor, definitely check this out as well. For me, I think it's better than the Nautilus V2, and I think it is a nice upgrade on the original Zenith, and I really like the vape on here. So there we go. That is the Zlide tank from Innokin. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.